Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get.
Now I want to bring this up because this is maybe real talk. Maybe it's not designed to be demotivational speaking. It's just designed to be real. But there's a lot of people watching this who have started.
Don't bring me down, Clay.
I'm just taking. Like a submarine here.
We're moving closer.
We're moving closer. We're moving downward. It's down and close.
We're digging.
That's right. Okay. So here's the thing: for somebody who's put their money into starting a online website, and they kind of sputtered. They kind of started. They're like, I'm motivated. And then, how much time does somebody need to devote, a mom, a dad, whoever, need to devote to launching a content-based website like yours? Real talk. How much time? Okay,
so all time put in is, what you're going to reap on the other side. So, right, so whatever you, reap what you sow and all of those things or whatever. So is the more time you put in, the more benefit on the other side, right? It's equal. You have to, so I like to say, but Rachel, I don't have 5 hours or I don't have an hour, 5 minutes. I like tiny commitments. So if I'm going to say, I'm going to spend, you need to make a tiny commitment and literally put it on your calendar. So for me, when I started, it was at night after the kids went to bed. Because I have 5 kids and I would literally, I'm crazy though, but because I loved what I did, specifically with the blog, I was already making things and I kind of did that at night. But then I started I had a little manufacturing system. But so when I started the blog and to try to build my audience, I made tiny commitments. And every night, but I would do it for 4 or 5 hours a night. But I suggest if you could spend 20 minutes a day for the first 2 weeks. 20 minutes a day, especially if you have a full-time job. If that includes kids, if you're a full-time mom or whatever that is. 20 minutes a day for the first 2 weeks. And that's just setting it up. So you're gonna set it and you're gonna make little goals for yourself. So, okay, from right now, you have nothing. You're at baseline 0 right now. Yep. So I would say, okay, you know that for 2 weeks, for 14 days, that you are going to spend 20 minutes each day. So the first day, day 1, would be make a timeline. So make a timeline of things that you need to get done. You need to contact somebody to help you with your website. You need to find that person. Google. There's someone
Google.
Yeah, exactly. Any you can find people to help you. So if you have a stumbling block or, I don't know how to set up an Etsy shop or whatever. Yeah. So you're just gonna make that timeline, and then after 2 weeks, now you're gonna bump that up to an hour a day. So
you schedule a specific time to do things.
Yes.
Okay, and I want to clarify this. We've interviewed entrepreneurs all over the country. We've never interviewed you in conjunction with the other entrepreneurs, and they all say the same thing. You have to schedule a time. It's not real until you schedule a time.
You have to make it, otherwise you can always find an excuse. And you're going to get so much done. If you know at 5 o'clock that you have, everything is on my calendar. And I'll have to say, I'm a space traveler. I'm an artist, and I live I'm in lunar landings, and so for me, the calendar has changed my life. I get to spend more time with my kids. I'm more efficient with my business. I have more calls. Everything is timeline.
So I'm gonna ask you this because this is I think this is speaking to some people. You're a mother of 5,
right?
And you homeschool the 5,
right?
And so you probably block off a time in there where you say, with kids,
right? Yeah, I've got a lot of little rules that I've learned. Every time the kids approach me, I close my computer, so they have my full attention. And I work outside of, I work at home, but I work in my studio, which is like detached from our house. And that was a big difference too. Like if you have an opportunity, or like you can even put hours like on your door if you don't have like a barn to work in. But
well, I know for me, just and for any of the Thrivers who are watching this, I know that whenever we want to start a business, we all have these little excuses that we give ourselves. And it's in any area of our life we want to make change. But I know I met an entrepreneur last week, and he came to me and he says, well, I have 2 kids and I just don't have time. And I said, well, I'm going to just be real with you. I said, every day I set my alarm for 3 a.m. and I get up at 3. And then from 3 to 9, that's when I do paperwork because no one's distracting me. And then from 9 to 5, I'll work, and then I'm home with my kids. And that's how I find my time, and I sleep between the hours of 10 and 3. I get 5 hours a night, and that's how I do it. I'm not saying that's how you have to do it, but that's how I find my time. But I can't put a boundary on myself and say, because I'm here with you in Atlanta, I can't get this contract done. I have to find time, and you got to schedule that time. And so every entrepreneur I've met is very good at time management.
Well, you have to be very disciplined with that. And you have to be disciplined because I would like, oh, well, I want to spend a few more minutes with Clay. You will see like often with very successful professionals, just like you're saying, is that they will stop like and say, even though they're having an amazing, like you're having like the best time, and they will just shake your hand and go on to the next task, right? Like, I mean,
and it's not rude. It's just called time blocking. People respect you. I just know that with you, I am so excited, and there's so much stuff we can learn. But at the end of the day, you've got commitments you do. We have commitments we do. Everyone, and it's just so important. So I think if you're watching this, an action step, an action item that you can do right now is build a timeline of all the big things you have to get done between here and there that you can think of.
Be obsessive with your calendar. iCal. I mean, everybody has a smartphone. If you don't, a paper calendar. There's no excuse, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't make an excuse. Like, I don't have a smartphone. I don't have what? Okay, well then, do you have paper and a pen? I don't know how to write. Like, find a pen. You know, like.
Let me say this. Rachel, did you teach yourself how to build a website and how to like update it? Or are there any books or tools that you found along the way that helped you?
Oh, there's so much. I mean, there's so much. We just keep going back to.
Is there any 1 or 2 good things you found?
Well, I would have to say, okay, my husband is just a serial entrepreneur and complete genius. And so he actually handles all of that.
Okay.
So I kind of completely lucked out, so I don't have to handle any of that.
For anybody watching this, though, I want to help you because I feel like this is important. If you look at the history of Apple, you'll notice that Steve Jobs could sell anything. He was very charismatic. He had big visions. Wozniak was the doer, made the computers, and actually built the things, the soldering. Everybody has kind of like a yin and a yang, or kind of a Batman and a Robin.
Right.
Every entrepreneur I've met has somebody that can help them. So if you're watching this and you're the technical person, but you don't know how to come up with the ideas.
You hire your strengths, or you partner with your strengths. In the beginning, partner with strengths.
So if you're watching this right now and you're saying, I am a technically totally declined person, I don't know how to do this, find somebody who can help you, or vice versa.
And you're going to think, well, then why would they want to work with me? Because they don't have your side. I always say that every creative needs an MBA. Like, every creative needs their MBA. Like, they need to find that person that can harness that and monetize it.
I love it. You heard it here from a creative person you self-described yourself as being in space. You're operating.
Totally. I levitate. We float.
But yet you have teamed up with people that can help you in those other areas, and you don't apologize for it. That's your personality.
Right.
Would you say that creativity is sort of like your superpower?
I would say that. I would say yes, definitely. It's everything. That's the only thing I have. Yeah. Yes.
When did you get to a point where you found yourself no longer apologizing for it? Because I know that every entrepreneur I know has a superpower. And as they become an entrepreneur, they start to realize, like, this is something I can do that no one else can do. They start to realize.
And I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, and they'll start to say, though, but these other things that everyone else can do, I can't do. And eventually they quit apologizing and they actually embrace it. When did you get to a point where you were so confident that you no longer had to apologize for being this creative wizard that you are?
Not that long ago. I mean, really, I used to say, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I know I lost my phone for the 25th time. And like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm talking about unicorns again. And like, so, I mean, I guess I just stopped saying that. Like, I mean, like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to I always keep it positive. I I just want to move forward. Forget the sorries or whatever. Let's just get the job done.
Well, I will say this for anybody watching this, if you're going, well, if you're watching this and you're having, I mean, I just want to make sure you're seeing this. Like for me, anxiety is something that freaks me out. I get really stressed out about variety. I prefer like consistency. So like for me, I wear every single time you'll see me in an episode, I always have a red tie, always have blue. Because like for me, I'm a systems guy.
Oh, I totally want to bring you a purple tie tomorrow.
Oh man, if you do that, that's probably.
I got like a rainbow tie. Like, I don't know, like, oh, cool, we gotta get you out of that, man.
So like, but for me, that's my
we
move.
put some paint on your.
My superpower is my consistency though, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna be very consistent with application of effort. I'm just.
Well, Steve Jobs wore the same thing every single day.
See, and that's where I got.
My husband wears the same thing every single day until like wears out. And then he has another plaid shirt, and I love it. I have more budget for my wardrobe. So.
See, and everybody has different superpowers. So don't feel bad if you're struggling.
Do you
in one
like?
area.
I'm trying to change your superpower. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, if you want to hurt my superpower.
Yeah.
Okay, so now outside of just the website itself, are there any tools or shopping carts you'd recommend? Is Etsy one of those must-haves if you're trying to build an online business in your mind?
Etsy's amazing. I mean, really, Etsy, and I mean, I could call it Big Cartel, and I am very, very, very pro Etsy. I haven't listed anything in my shop in probably 4 years, but I keep it up and I pay my $10 every single month because I'm actually hoping to get some things up into the shop. Even though I'm in every major retailer, I love Etsy, and I just like love that whole thing that I can have a one-of-a-kind item. I don't have to have a mass-produced item.
Yeah.
Really, like my son has an Etsy shop, Junior Collector, and yeah, he just finds things at yard sales and they're little toys, and that's what he sells. So like, he's 9.
So WordPress and Etsy, whether you're 9 or you're 49, I mean, this is something you believe everyone should have those 2 items?
100%.
Okay.
I mean, if you're selling a product, if you're selling a product.
Is there any other shopping carts you're a huge fan of or anything else that you feel like is a great, kind of easy, affordable option for thrivers out there that you just is right off the top of your head you say?
Well, the number one thing I would do in your 20 minutes would be to make sure that you're set up on all social platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. And you should have a YouTube channel too. Like, even you have to be set up. Like, you have to.
Okay.
You have to, and you have to make commitments as well on those social channels. Even if you don't have your website up, you should be active on those social channels, building your voice. Social media is not for friends, it's to build your platform. So if you're 23 years old and you want to start a company, and you want to start a polka dot sock company, and you're talking about, and you really want to be treated as a professional, and you're talking about you were at a rave till 4 o'clock in the morning, like
whoever that may be.
Yeah, just whoever that might be.
You have to have social media set
You
up.
have to be social media, building your platform for whatever you're doing. If it's selling polka dot socks, pizzas, selling potted cactus.
So let me say this though, because you're the creative. Now we're going to move on to this part about finding your niche. Finding the niche. And this is something that impresses me about you. I've tried to Google stalk you and find as much as I can about you and what you do, because I've heard the hype, heard people who've worked with you firsthand, heard people who love your products. And so I get into finding this niche. And so a lot of creatives who are watching this struggle to decide what niche to focus on. They're like, I love pizza, I love polka dotted socks, I'm a big fan of, and so they can't focus. So I want to ask you this, from your perspective, if I'm watching this and I really want to go out there and launch a website or blog that allows me to share my expertise in a given area in a way that I can monetize, should I focus on a niche, or should I just be super broad, and what do I need to do?
The more focused and targeted you can be is going to be your win.
Okay.
So if you can focus on, I mean, even like, be the best pickle maker in the history of the world.
Okay.
And it's easier to even focus on or shoelaces, like only sell red shoelaces, like only sell one thing, and then grow that and then add on.
Now, I've heard that, you know, I've heard a lot of entrepreneurs give this analogy, and I think it was Isaac Newton that first came up with it, but if the sun's rays, if you harness them, you know, to like a magnifying glass, they can burn stuff.
Right.
But the sun's rays, not focused, doesn't burn anything. And once you get that fire going, then you can get that, it spreads. That's what you're saying, is we got to focus on that. And I love that. Now, Rachel, for anybody who's watching this post or watching this video who has an interest in, 50 things, how would you recommend they decide what to focus on?
Well, first of all, they probably have an idea, right?
Okay.
Probably have an idea. And my idea was to make clothing. And then it evolved into DIY and recipes. And I only wanted to focus on family. I didn't want to talk about women's fashion, although I love women's fashion. I get a lot of opportunities for that. So whatever it is, your idea, your main idea or your main passion, let's say you sell hair bows. Start with that.
Yep.
Start with hair bows. Now, if you just don't have it, I bet you they already have an idea of what they want to do. If that's selling jam or whatever it is.
So you're saying deep inside.
They probably already know what it is. I mean, like if you're thinking that you want to start a business, like that's like the very first thing. And that's like, I want to start a business, I don't know what to do. I think people know.
So if you're watching this and you're really struggling to find out what you want to do, and there are people out there, I know that there's been a time in my life where I was highly motivated with nowhere to go. Just like, at first when I first started, kind of like, I want to be a DJ, but I want to be an animator and I want to be a videographer.
Oh, like, but you had ideas.
Yeah.
You had ideas.
I had to choose one. Eventually, I had to start with one and have success there. Right. And then all of a sudden, when I started winning some awards, I had more opportunities to open other businesses.
Right.
And so I just don't want you to become it's okay to have multiple businesses, but we have to have some success at first from focusing.
Right.
Now,
well, that's going to monetize and seed your next venture.
Boom, you hear that? Monetize and seed your next venture. Now, the niche you focused on to start Handmade Charlotte, just so I'm clear, was you focused on families, clothing, DIY, and recipes.
Right.
That's right?
Right.
Okay. And so now we live in this world where people are super worried about being politically correct. Super duper worried. I'd hate to even say a joke, because what if Rachel, doesn't think it's funny, and if I show my personality to my boss, maybe he makes fun of me, and I don't want to wear that because someone might say, well, that's offensive, or I don't like that, or you're weird, and so we have this kind of this desire as a culture. I'm seeing a great vanillization of entrepreneurs who are trying. They're like they want to be all things to all people, but yet it seems to me that despite that national trend of trying to be politically correct at all times, you, my friend, have kind of said professionalism, bah, and you almost have focused on personality, originality. You're like the queen of candor in my mind. Can you? Am I accurate in that? I mean, are you intentional about being real all the time?
Yes. I mean, as hard as I work, and as much time as I put into this,
yep.
I want to have fun.
Yeah.
And I think that if you do a good job, you can be yourself, and so I really enjoy, like you do, Clay, throwing people off a little bit, and really, onto this thing of, people always ask me, like, what do you do? Like, what are you? Whatever. And I always say, like, I'm a space traveler, or I'm into fairy shoes. That's what I do. And like, I just like to have fun with it.
Your platform is not for everybody, it's for your niche.
Right.
And I love that you're confident in that. So to succeed in a niche, do you feel it's essential to be candid and personable with your audience?
100%. Absolutely, right.
Really?
I mean, to the point, have a personality, and I feel like our site is a giant collaboration between the reader, myself, the content, and it's like a giant love affair.
Now, let me say this. You provide content. I mean, this is amazing. It's so exciting. I'm so excited for you. I mean, I really am. I'm just so excited for the things that are happening for you because you work so hard. But you're now a content provider for, you work with Disney Kids. You're now a design consultant for the Pottery Barn right. Kids. How big of an audience did you have to build up by being candid before brands like that started to reach out to you?
Well, I believe, and my father-in-law has always said, like, in the room, in the deal. And so when things started happening, after we built our platform and we were reaching, I don't know, like 300, 400,000 people.
That's amazing.
And so people started reaching out, but I started getting invitations and to participate in conferences and independent publishing conferences, blogging conferences, and getting asked to speak and things like that. And so that's when I really started building relationships with brands, and people started getting to know me in person, because it was funny when I first started meeting people, and when I first started meeting people, they're like, "You don't look anything like your picture." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" I'm like, I just wanted to know, like, what does that mean? And they were like, "Well, you looked really shy, like in your photo." And I just didn't want to be like, so I guess my personality wasn't translating through the internet. So really getting out into, even like in your local city or somewhere near you, there's probably a meetup. Start engaging in your community and people that are doing what you're doing. So be a part. I mean, a huge tip, if while you're getting started, is become part of the community that you want to be part of, or you want to, if it's, being a blogger, or if it's, being an independent publisher or an Etsy seller, start going to craft fairs, like meet other people, like join groups. They're everywhere.
So the action step here, you would say, is that if you're watching this, you want to join the community that you want to market to.
Right, and then I would target 20 strategic influential partners and become part of their communities.
Fire hose of knowledge, you're saying target 20 strategic partners.
Right, so 20 strategic influential partners.
Influential partners,
that means,
not just...
Right. So like when I started our site, I went to similar sites that had massive audiences. And what I did was, and you're going to say, well, how can I help you? Or how is that going to help me to help you? Well, every time you make a comment or a share, that's a donation. So a donation is starting the conversation, like making a comment on their site, like commenting on an article, but an authentic comment, and sharing. I love my audience, just like you do. You've been like calling out some of the Thrivers, and it's like, you love those people because they're engaging. So guess what starts happening? So you have engaged every single day for months, the 20 largest sites in your industry or in your vertical, and they're getting to know you now. Yeah. And so they're getting to know you, and they start checking you out. And they start wanting to give you favors, and they start sharing you. Then they start posting your content on their site. Then they start asking you to, hey, like I'm taking a week off. Could you guest post me for a week? Yeah. I got to guest post on Design Mom for an entire week when she was having a baby. A Cup of Joe when she was having her baby. Wow. And I was just keeping track of everybody that was dominating in my business. And I was commenting every single day, and I was sharing their stuff every single day. And I would ask them questions. Make the asks, right? You have to make asks ask your audience. You need to ask potential advertisers. Make asks every single day. I like to make 10 asks a day. If that's one to my employees, one to my, a couple of advertisers that I'm working with to close a deal, or... So
you say ask, it's asking somebody for something.
Asking something for, yes.
Okay. Now I want to clarify this, because I talk about this a lot with any of the clients I've ever worked with over the years, and I've never spoken with you about this, but I love that you said, and this is what's so fun about Thrive, is you'll start to see these principles are somewhat universal principles. Right. But you said reach out to influential people. Right. And I always tell clients, there's a guy I work with who's a builder, and I said, figure out who the top 100 most influential people are within that industry, and find a way to reach out to them in a consistent, memorable, and compelling way. Just, every week. Try to, if you need to drop by cookies by their office, great. If you need to drop them off a card, if you need to offer to fix a door jamb for them for free, just whatever you can do every day, like a battering ram, just boom, boom, boom. Because then they'll start referring you. Well, he says the other day, he says, one of the guys on our list, he's referred me 5 jobs. Well, it's because he's an influential person. So I want to make sure when you're reaching out to people, make sure you're reaching out to influential people.
In the vertical you want to be in.
In the vertical you want to be in. So I want to clarify this. If you're somebody like me who grew up in a community where I did not have a lot of influential people around me, this will require you reaching out to people you do not know.
Right.
Putting yourself out there.
But online, this is the thing. You don't have to cold call. You don't have to knock on doors anymore. You don't have to get anybody on the phone. You can send an email and you can just press send and like, it's over. There's nothing, there's no, it's so easy now.
So the person on the other end of this camera who's like, I'm so scared to hit the send button. What would you say?
Send it. Who cares? Oh, they don't email me back. Who cares? Who cares? You're on to the next one. But you know what? They often do. So Steve Jobs, talking about Steve-O, he, when he was 12 years old, he contacted Bob Hewlett. Hewlett?
Yeah,
Packard?
of Hewlett Packard, yeah.
Yeah. So he contacted, and his name was in the phone book, and he said, hi, my name is Steve Jobs, and I am 12 years old, and I'm interested in like this transformer, whatever. Do you have any extra parts laying around? I would like to try to build this summer or whatever. And guess what? Bob was so impressed that he did give young Steve Jobs like all of these parts to create whatever he was doing.
Steven Spielberg, for a lot of people who, we want to share these stories because these are the things that give us faith. This is what gives Rachel the faith to do it. So it gives me the faith because you get faith by seeing it, by doing it. Steven Spielberg, though, wanted to get into Hollywood, and he just couldn't get a job. He had applied everywhere. No one would hire him. He had no experience. So he noticed one day that when you go by this security desk, if you just kind of wave to the security guy, he didn't ask you to see your pass. He would just say, hey, and he'd walk by. So he's like, you know what, I'm just going to walk by, wave at the security guy, act like I work here, and just get in. So he one day walks in, and he says, hey, walks in, he's in. Now he's in the studio, and he's like, oh no, I'm in, what do I do?
Yeah.
So, true story, he found a janitor's closet and ended up making it his office. It was an unused, vacant office. There was a janitor storage room, and he put his name on the door. It said Spielberg.
No!
Swear to you. He put the name Spielberg on there, and he just started showing up on the set working as a gripper, the guy who picks up the cords and moves stuff around. And after he'd been there for a long period of time.
Oh, I love this.
You can watch this in a...
So he's working for free.
He's working for free. He had a different job, and I think waiting tables. Eventually, one day, the guy says, hey, Spielberg.
He's getting really skinny.
What do you do? He's like, well, I'm a gripper. He's like, who hired you? Well, long story short, he gets his first opportunity. He says, we love your work. We'd like for you to shoot a commercial for yada, yada. And that's how we got started.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and this kind of thing happens all the time.
It really does, and it can happen to you.
It's totally, that's how it has to happen. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're thinking that it's going to, I promise you're going to have to ask.
You can tweet Martha Stewart right now. I can call, literally, I can tweet to anybody right now.
Yeah.
Pharrell Williams, on the International Day of Happiness, my 14-year-old started the Send Happy campaign. Pharrell Williams tweeted my daughter.
Oh.
It's my daughter's project.
Boom.
That's amazing.
It's so important that
hello, Twitter.
I think it's important, though, that we realize as we're getting into this and we're launching our site, we have to realize that life and success is something that you can participate in. It's not something you have to sit on the outsides and look at other people being successful.
And
you
if it
can
doesn't
participate.
happen the first time too, if it doesn't happen the first time, and I know this is on and on about entrepreneurs. This is probably the thread, these common threads that you keep talking about.
Yeah.
But as cliche as it seems, it's okay, if you fall down, look, if Martha Stewart doesn't tweet you back or message you back, whatever, try again. By the fifth time, she's gonna be like, oh my gosh, who are you? Who are you? Or whoever it is,
I had I just want to encourage you, if you're watching this, hearing you say this, it just takes me back to all the rejection I dealt with. You're going to deal with it. Don't get upset about it. Just either get dumb or numb, but do it.
Yeah, well, you know that Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan little clip. I think it's about success and failure, and he's I think it's a Nike commercial. Yep. Have you seen that?
Where he talks about he took 1,000. He's made the shots because he's missed.
I missed 1,000 shots. I missed 50. I love that. That is so Well,
now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about building your audience.
Okay.
So now we're going to build the audience. Now, obviously, if we have a site that looks great visually, that's great. But if no one's on it, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So Gary Vaynerchuk, he's a social media guru, best-selling author. He says, I attract a crowd. not because I'm an extrovert and I'm over the top or I'm oozing with charisma. It's because I care. How much does caring really go into building a big audience in your mind? I mean, because you've been able to build a big audience by being sincere and candid. How much does actually caring matter?
Caring about the audience and what they're into, 100%. I mean, I want to create content that the audience is into, because if they're into it, they're going to come back and they're going to tell their friends.
JT, do you know what time it is?
4:10.
It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem, baby. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. What year were you born?
1995.
Dude, I've been hosting business conferences since you were 10 years old, but I've never had the two-time Heisman Award-winning Tim Tebow come present. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out, because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Also, this is the first Thrive Time Show event that we've had where we're going to have a man who has built a $100 million net worth.
Wow.
Who'll be presenting. Now, we've had a couple presenters that have had $1 billion net worth in some like real estate sort of things.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've had a guy who's built a service business, and he's built over $100 million net worth in the service business. It's the yacht driving, multi-state living guru of franchising. Peter Taunton will be in the house. This is the founder of Snap Fitness, the guy behind 9 Round Boxing. He's going to be here in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. JT, why should everybody want to hear what Peter Taunton has to say?
Oh, because he's incredible. He's just a fountain of knowledge. He is awesome. He has inspired me listening to him talk. And not only that, he also has, he practices what he teaches. So he's a real teacher. He's not a fake teacher like business school teachers. So you got to come learn from him.
Also, let me tell you this, folks. I don't want to get this wrong, because if I get it wrong, someone's going to say, you screwed that up, buddy. So Michael Levine, this is Michael Levine. He's going to be coming. You say, who's Michael Levine? I don't want to get this wrong. This is the PR consultant of choice for Michael Jackson, for Prince, for Nike, for Charlton Heston, for Nancy Kerrigan, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times best-selling authors he's represented, including pretty much everybody you know who's been a super celebrity. This is Michael Levine, a good friend of mine. He's going to come and talk to you about personal branding and the mindset needed to be super successful. The lineup will continue to grow. We have hit Christian recording artist Colton Dixon in the house. Now, people say, Colton Dixon's in the house? Yes, Colton Dixon's in the house. So if you like top 40 Christian music, Colton Dixon's going to be in the house performing. The lineup will continue to grow each and every day. We're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup. But I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button, and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money. JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, when's it going to be? June 27th and 28th. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And so it says Tulsa, Jerusalem. It's I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrive Time Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. So when June 27th and 28th, you're going to come. I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, you can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies. And I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
James, did I tell you my good friend John Lee Dumas is also joining us at the in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show Business Workshop? That Tim Tebow and that Michael Levine will be at. Have I told you this?
You have not told me that.
Oh, he's coming all the way from Puerto Rico. This is John Lee Dumas, the host of the chart-topping EOFire.com podcast. He's absolutely a living legend. This guy started a podcast after wrapping up his service in the United States military, and he started recording this podcast daily in his home, to the point where he started interviewing big-time folks like Gary Vaynerchuk, like Tony Robbins, and he just kept interviewing bigger and bigger names, putting out shows day after day, and now he is the legendary host of the EO Fire podcast, and he's traveling all the way from Puerto Rico to Tulsa, Oklahoma to attend the in-person June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshop. If you're out there today, folks, you've ever wanted to grow a podcast, a broadcast, you want to improve your marketing, if you've ever wanted to improve your marketing, your branding, if you've ever wanted to increase your sales, you want to come to the 2-day interactive June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show Business Workshop featuring Tim Tebow, Michael Levine, John Lee Dumas, and countless big-time super successful entrepreneurs. It's going to be life-changing. Get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. James, what website is that?
thrivetimeshow.com.
James, one more time with more enthusiasm.
thrivetimeshow.com.
Shine, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. I'm not to be played with because it could get dangerous. See these people I ride with. This moment, we own it.
Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops because we teach you what you need to know to grow. You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you. And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done his show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And it's a Mr. Clay Clark. He's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man, and there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's a guy by the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And I said, no. And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed to the business owner to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you thank you, sir, for changing my life.
But not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much, and thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I went to a small private liberal arts college and got a degree in business. And I didn't learn anything like they're teaching here. I didn't learn linear workflows. I learned stuff that I am not using, and I haven't been using for the last 9 years. So what they're teaching here is actually way better than what I got at business school. And I went what was actually ranked as a very good business school. The linear workflow for us in getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side.
Once I saw what they were doing, I knew I had to get here at the conference. This is probably the best conference or seminar I've ever been to in over 30 years in business.
You're not bored. You're awake, alive the whole time. It's not pushy. They don't try to sell you a bunch of things.
I was looking to learn how to just get control of my life, my schedule, and just get control of the business.
Planning your time, breaking it all down, making time for the F6 in your life, and just really implementing it and sticking with the program.
It's really lively. They're pretty friendly, helpful, very welcoming.
I attended a conference a couple months back, and it was really the best business conference I've ever attended.
At the workshop, I learned a lot about time management, really prioritizing what's the most important.
Biggest takeaways are, you want to take a step-by-step approach to your business. Whether it's marketing, what are those 3 marketing tools that you want to use, to human resources.
Some of the most successful people and successful businesses in this town, their owners were here today because they wanted to know more from Clay, and I found that to be kind of fascinating.
The most valuable thing that I've learned is diligence. That businesses don't change overnight. It takes time and effort, and you got to go through the ups and downs of getting it to where you want to go.
He actually gives you the roadmap out. I was stuck, didn't know what to do, and he gave me the roadmap out step by step.
We've set up systems in the business that make my life much easier, allow me some time freedom.
Here you can ask any question you want. They guarantee it'll be answered.
This conference motivates me and also give me a lot of knowledge and tools.
It's up to you to do it. Everybody can do these things. There's stuff that everybody knows, but if you don't do it, nobody else can do it for you.
I can see the marketing working. And it's just an approach that makes sense.
Probably the most notable thing is just the income increase that we've had.
Everyone's super fun, it's super motivating. I've been here before, but I'm back again because it motivates me.
Your competition's going to come eventually, or try to pick up these tactics. So if you don't, somebody else will.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that You guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
If you decide to not attend the Thrive Time workshop, you're missing out on a great opportunity.
The atmosphere of Clay's office is very lively. You can feel the energy as soon as you walk through the door, and it really got me and my team very excited.
If you decide not to come, you're missing out on an opportunity to grow your business. Bottom line.
Love the environment. I love the way that Clay presents and teaches. It's a way that not only allows me to comprehend what's going on, but he explains it in a way to where it just makes sense.
The SEO optimization, branding, marketing. I've learned more in the last 2 days than I have the entire 4 years of college.
The most valuable thing that I've learned, marketing is key. Marketing is everything.
Making sure that you're branded accurately and clearly. How to grow a business using Google reviews, and then just how to optimize our name through our website also.
Helpful with a lot of marketing, search engine optimization, helping us really rank high in Google.
The biggest thing I needed to learn was how to build my foundation, how to systemize everything and optimize everything, build my SEO.
How to become more organized, more efficient.
How to make sure the business is really there to serve me as opposed to me constantly being there for the business.
New ways of advertising my business as well as recruiting new employees.
Group interviews, number one. Before we felt like we were held hostage by our employees. Group interviews has completely eliminated that because you're able to really find the people that would really be the best fit.
Hands-on, how to hire people, how to deal with human resources, a lot about marketing, and overall just how to structure the business, how it works for me, and also then how that can translate into working better for my clients.
The most valuable thing I've learned here is time management.
I like the 1 hour of doing your business is real critical if I'm going to grow and change.
Clay really teaches you how to navigate through those things and not only find freedom, but find your purpose in your business and find the purposes for all those other people that directly affect your business as well.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everyone needs to attend the conference because you get an opportunity to see that it's real.